I want to talk about making us, as a people, united again. Because too much of what's going on is divisive. We are looking at, I'm right, you're wrong. This person sucks, this person's awesome. This is the answer, no, this is the answer. And all we are doing is debating each other. Okay, we are falling victim to arguments about religion, about race, about any topic you could possibly come up with. We are devolving into arguing with each other rather than coming together for improvement, solidarity, and what's right for the greater good.
Happy birthday to you.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the No Half Cakes podcast. My name is Jim Sabellico. I will be your host of this very podcast. Today is a Mindset Monday episode, and what I like to do is start each week off with getting better, and that's either a positive mindset, a little inspirational quote, something that we can do to start our week off with improving ourselves to be the best version of us possible. If you're new to this show, this is the first time you're seeing it, just a little bit of housekeeping. Aside from the Monday version of this show, I also have a long-form version on Wednesdays, which is a one-on-one interview with someone who's done something in life. We talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, just a real raw conversation. Those are some of my favorite episodes. So if you have not yet caught those, please do yourself a favor, go check those out. Other versions of the show, Saturdays I do a strategy sprinkle, which is a practical, tactical tip to help you level up in your personal or professional life. Now, getting back to today, Mindset Monday. I want to talk to you about something a little bit different than our usual topic. If you are paying attention at all to the world, politics is a pretty big topic of conversation, whether it's elections in the U.S., overthrown governments in Bangladesh, whether it's, anywhere in the world right now, there's just a lot going on. And I feel the need to talk about this because it's a relevant topic. And it's something that we all got to deal with at some point in some way, shape, or form in our life. And I want you to have the mindset necessary to not let it affect you, and wherever possible to use to your advantage to become better. So here's what my thought is on the process. I am not going to go out and endorse a candidate for office in this country right now. I don't want this message to be pro or anti either one. Okay? Because neither one, no matter who, doesn't matter who is elected as president, none of them are going to solve your problems for you. Okay, I need to start off by saying that. Because too many of us are going to get distracted by, we need to vote this person in, or absolutely not this person, so I'm voting for that person. Yeah, I don't care which way you lean, left or right, Republican, Democrat. It doesn't matter to me. You got to do what's right for you and your family. But what I want to focus on is the right things. Right? I want to look at what are the things that we need to be measuring that are going to actually improve your life. Because a lot of us get caught up in the drama and the crap. And that specifically is what I want to talk about. I want to talk about making America united again. Again, I want to talk about make America great again and any connotation that might have. I want to talk about making us, as a people, united again. Because too much of what's going on is divisive. We are looking at, I'm right, you're wrong. This person sucks, this person's awesome. This is the answer, no, this is the answer. And all we are doing is debating each other. Okay, we are falling victim to arguments about religion, about race, about any topic you could possibly come up with. We are devolving into arguing with each other rather than coming together for improvement, solidarity, and what's right for the greater good. Now, obviously, there's going to be different determinations about what the greater good is. Right? So you might believe, hey, this is the right way to go, versus your neighbor might have a different belief. And that's where we start to devolve into arguing back and forth. What I'm proposing to you is, instead of looking for ways to argue with each other, look for ways to grow and support each other in ways that benefit everybody. So what I mean specifically by that is, as you go through these scenarios where you see, hey, this person's arguing pro-Kamala, this person's arguing pro-Trump, and they're just going to argue and bicker back and forth. Number one, entering those conversations is going to nothing but suck your time, suck your energy, and suck the life out of you. A lot of people are very dead set in their opinions. Trying to prove them wrong is of no help to you. Okay, so I get it. If you see someone who is very pro a thing, and that happens to be a thing that you disagree with, the temptation to want to go and argue back and forth. The arguing is not going to help anybody. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm all for standing up for what you believe in and for what is right. So if there is a thing that you need to do to protect core values, by all means, protect it. But you can do so by having a conversation, by listening, by being real and transparent with each other, not arguing. Right? There's a way to do it from a united standpoint, by understanding what truly matters and what the end goal is. Because at present, what we're doing is arguing with each other. We are distracting each other from what matters. We are distracting each other from improving, from providing for our families and our communities. We are attacking our neighbors. For what? This is not how we're supposed to operate. We are not supposed to operate from a place of hate and violence. It's wrong. Okay, it's not the right way to operate. And the point of me doing this show, the point of having these conversations is to improve, to get better, to be the best version of ourselves. And that's just not it. Okay, so if you truly want to be the best version of yourself, you got to lead by example. You got to be able to look at other people who you might disagree with their opinions, but you can calmly have an educated decision with that person about your view and their view, and find some common middle ground on what you agree on and push toward that. Because like I said at the start of this, I personally do not believe either one of those two people are going to solve all my problems. At the end of it, it's on me. Okay, I am the only one responsible for solving my problems. Sure, one person might do one thing to help in some way, shape, or form versus the other. Okay, at the end of the day, it's still on you. You are going to have to deal with whichever, because there is no perfect person in that spot. They're all going to have pros, they're all going to have cons. Okay, so even if you think this person is the perfect one for that reason, guess what? They come with cons too. There's going to be some shortcomings. There's going to be some things that happen. Oh, by the way, X, Y, and Z that you got to deal with now. Okay, you're not going to be able to change the rules of the game. It is what it is in this environment that we live in. Okay, whoever leads the country, sure, you've got a vote. You've got a voice, and you should exercise that, right? But we got to be united in that effort. And if we are constantly arguing with each other, if we are constantly bickering back and forth, if we not hold space for ideas that we might oppose, we cannot grow and be the best version of ourselves as a country. And the frustration that I have for sitting in this spot, looking at people who are wasting their time and energy. You have no idea how much time and energy you got left. You want to spend it arguing with your neighbor? You want to spend it arguing with strangers on Facebook about whatever? Hold space for people. Stop judging people you don't know. Have the conversations like a human, with the understanding that, hey, we're all on the same team here. Okay, voting for the current president, the future president, whichever one you want to fail, is like voting for the pilot of the plane that you're on to die and crash the plane. It's bananas to me how people don't understand that concept. I can understand if you disagree. Okay, fine. Look, I disagree with a lot of things, but this is the hand that we were dealt. Okay, you got to make the best of it. You got to take the opportunity in front of you and say, all right, cool, this is where we're at. May not be a perfect scenario, But as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as a leader, how often do you get the perfect scenario handed to you? Almost never. It's about looking at the things that were given to you and being like, all right, cool. This sucks. That's all right. That's pretty awesome. This thing sucks. That's all right. And figuring out the best way to combine those things where you can level up the people around you and do your best to mitigate any issues. You got to keep that same mindset. Look, there is going to be no perfect candidate. So stop trying to pretend that there is. Stop hating on your neighbors. Stop arguing with strangers. That's not how we operate. We have to do what we can to unite with each other and figure out what really matters. The more time and energy we spend arguing with each other about crap, the less difference we make. That's what I want you to focus on. I want you to focus on where your time and energy goes, and is it in uniting with your neighbor, or is it arguing? And again, stand for what you believe in. I get it. I'm all for it. But to me, there's a right and wrong way to do it. There's a way to do it where you are collectively pushing toward the greater good, or you're just rooting for the downfall, or you're looking for complaints, or you're looking for problems just because you want your person to win. Show up. Have the conversations. Don't raise your voice. Don't yell at people. Sit there, have the conversation, say, hey, what is it about this person? What is it about this scenario? How can we come together and find a common ground that we can improve on? Waiting for the government to do anything for you is never going to be it. They're never going to give you 100% of the answers that you need. Okay, because unfortunately, they're going to have their own interests in mind as well. There is no person out there who's going to say, hey, I'm going to do everything I possibly can to set you up for complete and total success. And I can tell you that, sure, because they will. It's not true. At the end of it, you are the only person responsible for that. They can show some shiny things in front of you and say, hey, this is what I want to offer you. But it's always going to come with a yeah, but. Hey, I'll offer you this, but you also got to do this too. And those are trade-offs you got to understand. But again, what it ultimately comes down to is you got to be united with each other. We have to be united with each other. We can't continue to operate from a place where we are just attacking each other and all we're doing is getting enraged and yelling. All it's going to do is create these echo chambers where you think your side's right, you think their side's wrong, and all we do is continue to further divide until mass chaos happens. I don't want that. I want to continue to show up in my best life. I want to continue to show up and help people. I want to continue to show up to my kids' sporting events and go have fun without worrying about someone doing something stupid because they disagree with something they saw on Facebook. It's insane. But the more that we continue to have these arguments and the less we hold space for each other and the less we focus on uniting instead of trying to prove a point, the more likely that's going to happen. And I don't want to sit here and just pretend that that's okay. Because it's not. We got to figure out how to get to a spot where we are looking at each other as equals, not as different. We got to stop looking at gender. We got to stop looking at race. We got to stop looking at all this crap as, why are you different than me? We're all the same. Okay, we're all in this together. When you figure that out and you realize, hey, we can do this collectively as a way that benefits everybody, or we can continue to divide each other. We continue to look for reasons why I'm different than you, and everybody loses. So my ask for you this week is to do what you can to unite with at least one person. Have a conversation. Hold space. Be kind. Go first. Okay, hold space for someone who maybe you disagree with. Have a conversation about a topic that you feel strongly about without yelling. Okay, if we could focus on uniting with each other instead of arguing with each other and dividing each other, we will all win. Right? That's where the power is. The power is in unity. And the less united we are in a thing, we can't progress. So when we can focus on uniting together, rather than arguing with each other and being divisive and looking at all reasons why we can argue, that's when we can regain the power and really progress and get to the things that we want. But we got to stop. And it starts with us. It starts with our response, right? So it starts with how we respond to things and how we show up in other people's lives and our own life. So I'm encouraging you this week to focus on making your own little community, whether that's your social media community, whether it's your physical in-person community, whatever it is. Do your best to unite. And I'm not asking you to hold a community summit. I'm not asking you to do anything crazy. I'm asking you to at least unite with one person. Focus on how can we help each other? What is the common interest, rather than dividing and arguing and all this other BS that we occupy our time with, because it benefits nobody. That's my ask for you. Show up united. You're worth it. Your community is worth it. Your country's worth it. Your peace of mind is worth it. Your standards are worth it. Your core values are worth it. You're worth it. Unite with each other. Let's end this crap.